Hi, good evening. In this video, I will explain what are the steps involved in a WM implementation. Okay. Okay. We can see that what are the methodology, the SAP methodology we use it for WM implementations, and as part of methodology and what are the steps involved from the starting. I will explain theoretically how the process happens and all. And when it comes to WM implementation, we need to talk about two types of WM implementations. The one is it's like a greenfield completely. We start with MM, SD, FICO, all the modules. Along with that, WM is one of the modules. That is one kind of implementation where there is no SAP was being used by the company, and they are first time implementing SAP. There all these modules are getting implemented. That is one kind of thing. And second one, which is mostly I have seen in my experience, initially they don't implement WM because they run their inventory operations and procurement, so MM, sales operations for SD, and finance, what are PP, all the modules they implement. After later part, maybe after 2 years or 3 years, and according to the operations, they will implement warehouse management. So in first case, when we do the implementation, all modules are new to the client. We need to explain what is SAP and how SAP works and how each module work, and we do the implementation. And second case, they know MM, they know FICO, they know sales order, the SD concept and all, and we need to add warehouse management to the existing one. Okay, so I will explain in detail, and wherever there is some differences between these two, I will highlight that. Okay, so not to make any confuse, because we know if there is SAP, what kind of activities we have to do, and if there is no SAP and we are doing for the first time, then how we can do it. Okay, if you see that WM implementation, whenever you see that SAP methodology, there are multiple phases will be there. Initially project preparation, and then we do the business blueprint. We understand the business requirements, and we prepare the business blueprint document based on the discussions and the agreement with the vendor. Vendor means in the client. Okay, we just agree with the client. These are the processes we are going to map it, and then we do the realization. In the realization, we get the server so that we do the configurations and we do the testing, and then the user will do the testing. Then we conduct trainings before user testing. After that, we do the cutover. Okay, then we do the go live. Okay, so realization, after that we will have a final preparation. The final it will be go live. Then we will do the support. Application support will be given for the as per the agreement. How many years they are going to give the support, that will be given there. So the agenda, just SAP methodology at the high level, and this is the details about SAP methodology. This content is taken from SAP sites, just to give an idea, like in mid-90s, how SAP procedures were there, and they have introduced a method called accelerated SAP methodology. Okay, now there are some new methodology was being introduced by SAP. Okay, for new implementations which are going to happen in future. Okay. In SAP methodology, the steps will be there. The steps will ensure you to have a proper discussions with the business to understand the business requirement, and to have a legal agreement between the customer and the vendor, means between the client and the IT partner. Okay, and that is a business blueprint. Based on that, we proceed further to do the config setup, and we do the agreed developments, and then we have to give a proper training to the users. Okay, first initially we give the proper training to the core team members, and then the core team members will give the training to the end user before go live. Okay. The benefits of SAP methodology, if you see that major benefits, like SAP methodology covers the entire project life cycle, right from the initial evaluation via delivery until post-project management. Okay, and it is proven that the transparent approach that facilitates the project team to collaborate efficiently, thus reducing implementation costs, time, and risk. Sensible risk management and better knowledge management, wherein SAP solutions helps organize, implement, and meet business objectives. The knowledge management means in which phase, what exactly activities we have to do, and how the documentation sharing is going to happen, the hand-to-hand checking, how efficient we are getting the current business understanding from the business, the core team members, and how efficiently they are communicating to the IT consultants without having any gaps, how efficiently we are interacting and we are understanding the business, how many times we visited the warehouse and understand the warehouse structure and what kind of materials they're going to keep it. All this understanding we should have, then only we can provide a proper solution to the business. The best practice tools also we use, at ITIL, PMI, these kind of tools also will be used in this methodology, wherever how the document needs to be shared and how the document should be stored, what is the naming of the documents, okay, and how to identify, how to maintain the version management of the documents, if you are making any changes, how you are changing the versions, and for that change, what kind of decisions changes happen, is it changing from the business, changing because of the technical solution, or this kind of all we need to capture, which will give you the transparency between the customer and the vendor. Okay, this is the SAP roadmap. This image taken from SAP just to explain you how the project preparation at high level. I can explain you, the people who are attending this session, who is watching this video with SAP MM knowledge, or with that knowledge, then you can understand even better. But anyway, I will explain in detail about each phase. The project preparation, according to my experience, I'm going to tell you what exactly we have done it. It may be some 10%, 50% differ from project to project and all. So this is not something like ME21 and transaction code for PO creation, or LT06 for WM transfer order creation against the material document. So it will not be like one answer. It will be slightly changes based on the methodology they adopted by the companies and how they are following. It will be minor changes will be there. Okay. So in this video, I will share my experience, how we have done in our projects. So the project preparation, initially they will, the high management team will check the project, high management team, or else the sales team. The sales team, if you have a dedicated sales team for winning the projects, they go to the different clients and explain the solution of warehouse management. Okay, how warehouse management helps for their business to improve the picking process, to fasten their picking process. If you fasten your picking process, then you can load more uh, trucks to send to the customers, so you can speed up your business process. How efficiently we can utilize the warehouse space. Okay, these all kind of solutions are available in WM. So the sales team or the high project management team will provide the demos to the clients, and they convince the client, and finally once the client is agreed to have WM implementation, okay, like SAP implementation, then the project will be finalized and we will have the scope. What is the scope of analysis? What are the activities we are going to do? How many warehouses we are going to implement, and how many users are currently working? What is the volume of warehouses? Okay, how much work we are going to expect? Okay, so based on that, they will expect, okay, how many WM consultants are required and how many custom developments can be implemented. These all at a high level, they will take a decision to have a roadmap of total project, how much duration it may take it. At that point of time, they will have a completely the tentative, and at a high level they will take some buffer days and they will prepare the project plan when they initially go for that. But actual idea will come once we have done the business blueprint. So because when you do the business blueprint discussions with the business, then only we will come to know what gaps we have and what are the processes we need to have. Because initial at sales team discussions, the high level management discussions, they may not come to know the certain kind of requirements, certain kind of complexities in the warehouse processes, which need to be mapped by doing some custom developments. Okay, so during business blueprint, we have a discussions with the core users. The core users will explain how the materials are getting received, how they are getting stored in the warehouse, and what kind of different materials they have. They have some cool room material. They will have a cold storage. They're only less than 10 degrees. They have to store that materials. They have certain materials which should not never be kept in the second, third, fourth, such kind of racks. They always should be kept in the level 1 because of high weight, 2000 kg or 2500 kg, such kind of high weight materials, or else some 500 800 kg of materials. So they mostly they prefer to have in the based on the safety guidelines and the product um, handling risk and all, they will always keep it in the ground floor. There are certain material they want to have some loose part area kind of thing, because they receive loose quantity, and also they always pick loose quantity to the customer. So these are all kind of scenarios we need to understand. First, you have to understand how material flow is getting happened in the warehouse, how materials you are receiving, how many different sources, procurement from the vendor, any transfer from another plant. Okay, either any other process you are receiving, what kind of different stocks we are receiving. Yes, we are receiving consignment stock. Yes, we are receiving some subcontractor final product from the subcontractor. These kind of different inbound processes we need to understand. And also the outbound process, like how what are the different scenarios where the material will be moved from our warehouse to other place. It will be when you ship to the customer, when you transfer to another plant, when you scrap it, and you are sending some components to the subcontractor. Okay, and what kind of different scenarios where the materials are getting moved from our warehouse to outside. All these things we just need to understand the business blueprint phase. Okay, what are the different forms they are following now, and what are the different kinds of reports they need for their business process, and what kind of dashboards they want to have. In the warehouse, the dashboards will play the crucial role. The dashboards will be displayed in a 56 inches TV, or for depends on that 56 inches, that kind of big screens they keep it. There they can track it, how many trucks today they are going to receive, and how many trucks they are going to send to the shipment, and how many trucks, empty trucks are available or waiting for the loading. All these things can be monitored on a screen. That can be is kept in one screen will be kept in the office, where the manager, warehouse manager, the management team or office team can see it. And there will be a screen in the warehouse where the warehouse operators, the pickers, all the worker team, or any the floor manager, these people can see it. Floor manager will mostly spend the time in the floor, and sometimes in the office. Office team mostly in the office, and sometimes they go to the warehouse to visit, to check, to discuss any kind of topics. So in the realization phase, once we have frozen all the business requirements, we have to prepare the flows by using Visio or PowerPoint and all. We prepare the flows, how the inbound happens, how the outbound happens, what are the different kind of internal movements we have. Okay, all these details will be explained. We are going to keep in the business blueprint. Okay, and then when we have the process of realization, once we have sign off the business blueprint, okay, the business blueprint sign off will be done by the client team. All the managers and the high level management, they will sign off, and then we will have a plan for the go live. So what are the scope and how much scope we can take it in the first phase, overall we can do in a single phase, or else we will make it some phase 2 or phase 3, like that. That depends on the availability, and depends on the business requirement, and it depends on the size of the volume of objects, how many objects we are going to do it, how many custom objects we are going to do. All these things will be given in realization phase, because from the realization phase to the complete further steps, what are the time, how much time is going to take. So based on that, the project plan will be given by the management team. So realization, how much phase they, how much time they are going to keep it, and cut over final preparation, how many days we are going to keep for that, and then the go live. Okay, the realization we will have a splitting that I will explain what are the different steps we are going to do it. And go live and support, initially we call it as hypercare support. Once we have gone live, initial 1 month or 20 days are based on the business understanding and the agreement, we will have hypercare support. In hypercare support, we get more issues and some kind of handling issues because the users are new, so they will do some manual errors, and sometimes they will cancel the document, or sometimes they create wrongly. These kind of support issues mostly we get in hypercare, along with any other program issues and all. Once after 1 month and all, they are familiar with the transaction codes, they're familiar with the process and all the things. And before this, the business has to prepare the SOP, standard operating procedure. For each process, they have to prepare a standard operating procedure. So whenever a new employee joins in that department, he can go through the SOP. So okay, this SOP says that first you have to create inbound delivery, then you have to print the put a list, or the list of materials with this destination bin, that form. Then we have to go for like that. The SOP will tell you the list of step-by-step process which needs to be followed by the business. Okay, and run SAP we call like the regular application support. We get issues once in 2 days, or once in 3 days, or once in a week, based on the new processes. If they require any new requirement, then we have to take up and fulfill the business requirement. All these things happen in the run SAP phase.